The Paris Psalter, which is not this hilarious visual pun, but rather this book, is a collection of the book of Psalms. There's really a collection of Psalms found in Paris. And what we see is a revival of a classicized style. So what they're doing is they're looking back at the classical world in theme as much as in imagery. As part of the Macedonian Renaissance, a time of study of Greek art and literature, we see pieces like this. And here we see a reference to the man in the foreground here, likely to Orpheus, a Greek hero who could charm objects and animals with music. We see him in a landscape surrounded by personifications of a river, the city of Bethlehem, echo, meaning music making. So here's echo, for example, hiding in the background, the city of Bethlehem, this river, probably the river Jordan. And we see him surrounded by animals, this idea of bringing all creatures together in one way, shape, or form. What they're doing here is they're not just creating a classical image, but they're comparing the emperor to Orpheus, this idea that the emperor is bringing harmony in the terrestrial world. So they're borrowing to create a metaphor so that the people will begin to understand. These classical images would have been common, but mostly amongst the educated and the elite, hence the fact that it's turning up in an illuminated manuscript, which is generally only going to be available to the educated and the elite, who typically are the same people in this society, in many societies. So as we look at it, we have a lot of different imagery going on. We have the lambs. You could read those as something related to Christianity. Of course, the city of Bethlehem is definitely related to Christianity, and it is labeled beneath. We have echo, this idea of the echoing of sounds related to music, and we have Orpheus playing his lute. I forget the name of the woman next to him, but that's his true love who dies on their wedding night, and he goes to the underworld, almost gets her back, and then turns around to see if she's there at the very last second and sees her disappear. We have an interesting depiction of a man in red in the corner. I apologize. Things are not working out as well as I would hoped here. And what is happening is he may be a depiction of someone who is not Byzantine. In other words, the emperor is bringing harmony not just to the Byzantine Empire, but to the people surrounding. So really expanding on the powers of the emperor using imagery that the people might be familiar with from the classical world. And they're borrowing that to get across this very strong message. A message that's very difficult to get across. How do you say someone is harmonious in visual language? It becomes very, very difficult.